is Mark Gunn Media.
Hit it!
Welcome to Gunshots Straight from the Hip. I'm your host, Mark Gunn. The views expressed on this program are those of the host and guests and not necessarily reflective of anyone or any entity associated with this broadcast. This episode is brought to you by the Centers for Disease Control.
The best way to protect yourself from 2019 novel coronavirus is to avoid being exposed to the virus. Additionally, there are preventative actions that you can take to protect yourself and your family from the spread of respiratory viruses that can make you sick. These include stay home if you're sick, cover your cough, and wash your hands.
For more information, visit coronavirus.gov. That's coronavirus.gov. This episode, Morning Radio, a different kind of marriage. A loving tribute to Kymberlye Stepp Curd. This is probably going to be one of the most personal episodes I'll ever do because it deals with one of the most important parts of my life, radio. I've been on the air in some way, shape, or form for over the last 40 years, and in that time, I've gone from being the overnight jock to doing evenings, afternoons, and finally, morning drive. Now, when you are a morning show radio personality, your life changes in ways that you never thought it would. For one, your day starts earlier and tends to end later than most. You have to become more creative than you've ever been, and you develop a relationship with your co-hosts that's more like a marriage than anything else. Throughout my career, I've been married 5 times. 2 legal marriages, and 3 radio wives. The difference is that I've been divorced once. However, you never really get a divorce from your radio wives, even if you're no longer working together. I've been honored to be married to 3 of the most incredible women I've had the pleasure to share a microphone with, and we've managed to keep in touch over all these years. My first was Kelly Fox at KSOL in San Francisco. My second, Lisa Allen at WAMO in Pittsburgh. And the last radio wife I ever had was Kim Zahn at WIZF in Cincinnati. The reason for this episode is twofold. You see, we lost Kim rather suddenly back on August 11th, and I never really had a chance to say goodbye. I couldn't bring myself to go to her homegoing because that simply wasn't the way I wanted to remember her. Instead, I wanted to pay tribute to her, not only as a talented performer, but as a woman and an incredible human being. I wanted to share with you the gift she gave me and the listeners of Cincinnati. All right, throughout this episode, you're going to hear quite a bit of inside radio stuff, so if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Typically, you do not get to choose who your morning team is going to be. Now, that's done by the station's program director. It's an anxiety-filled process because there are so many unknowns. Is the talent there? What about chemistry? What do they bring to the table? With Cincinnati being my 3rd morning show, I didn't worry so much because I developed a strategy that would always put my wives in a position of strength. Let me explain. The prevailing mindset for some morning radio shows at one time, and you probably still hear it to this day, is that the female counterpart, or sidekick, was just supposed to be in a support role, a glorified giggle box, if you will. I simply wasn't having that because I always saw my partners as equals, and our shows were designed to put them on full display. Kim understood that concept and fit in almost immediately. She brought a common sense and mother wit to the sometimes over-the-top behavior of the other half of the 3 of us, Jonathan Love and yours truly. Now, the warmth and humor she had off mic was pretty much the same when the mic was turned on. Kim is authentic, and it came through in everything she did. So what I want to do is share some of my favorite moments with her from our years as the Wiz morning crew at WIZF in Cincinnati. In fact, we were the last local morning show the station had before they went into syndication, hiring talent from outside of the area. We were also, in my not-so-humble opinion, their best. One of the things I love about Kim is her sense of humor. She was always very quick, almost sniper-like. For example, we were talking to a listener about a concert tour that was headed to the Queen City, and you just have to hear it for yourself.
Where's hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
All right, this is Lisa. I'm calling to tell y'all about that LSG concert. We went down to the expo.
Oh, yeah. How were they?
Man, LSG turned it out.
Oh, is that right?
They turned it out.
Now, did everybody do like a solo thing or what?
Oh, they did their thing. I mean, Levert, he did it. I mean, he was, and this how they laid it out. They said that Levert was going to be your foreplay, Keith was going to be your penetration, and Johnny was your climax. And they wasn't kidding. And they wasn't kidding.
Oh, my gosh.
Get out.
That's funny.
Now, tell me, did they really wear out their knees from begging so much?
Actually, for once, only Johnny was on the floor, and Keith did a little, I don't know what Keith thought he was doing, but he was, doing the backstroke, trying to give you the impression that was supposed to be some love making.
Oh, no.
But Johnny laid
Y'all know
it out.
Keith Sweat can't dance.
Keith Sweat can't dance. I'm going to tell you, Levert and Johnny, them boys was on it. Keith was standing in the background holding on to some steps, watching.
Oh, no. So they're going to be good here. So they're going to be good in Cincinnati then.
Oh, they going to tear it up. I mean, because they even had the white folks jamming. I mean, they was, them little white girls down the front row, they was jamming.
All right, Lisa. Thanks a lot, love.
All right.
Have a good day.
Oh, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The only thing that I hope doesn't happen, and invariably it will, y'all seen Johnny Gill live, right? New Edition solo thing. Why does he have to go to that?
Sound like a bulldog, right? Yeah.
Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Sing the damn
Rover.
song, man.
I'm waiting on Levert, Gill, and Gunn.
Levert, Gill, and Gunn.
Oh, hecky no.
Oh, no.
Just call me Keith Sweat.
Just
No dancing, no singing, whining, brother. Talk about
sitting in the background.
Sitting in the background.
Can I get it? Can I get it?
Can I get a note?
Can I get a check?
Will you throw a brother a note, please?
There you go.
Let him intro the song.
That's right. That'll be me.
Oh, see.
Like that dude in Boys II Men. Just talk, bro. You don't have to
Yeah,
just
really,
talk.
really.
See?
Girl,
Oh, baby. There
I
you
want to give you a
go.
look at what's happening with traffic and weather together.
Forget singing. You in the right field.
And I'm going to from the United Dairy Farmers.
Oh.
Here's my girl,
Oh.
Kim Zahn.
Boy, talk about multiples. This traffic report is a service of Chevy Astro.
One of the hardest things to do in morning radio is comedy, writing it or performing it. I mean, I never really thought of myself as being funny, but when you have really talented people around you, the funny can be brought out of you. I always imagined that writing for Kim was easy. Give her a premise, and she'd come up with something that would usually make us laugh so hard that it would take several takes in order for us to execute it properly. Being topical is always a good way to get a laugh, too. Example, Marge Schott, the former owner of the Cincinnati Reds baseball team. Years ago, Schott was forced to sell the team by Major League Baseball because of several racist incidents she had with her players.
Right now, 1 in 5 eligible people in this country are not even registered to vote. And I know it's not
Cincinnati's
because people
R&B
don't
hits,
care.
100.9, the
We
new
all
Wiz.
care.
Make sure you check out my
The
man,
only
Tom
way to
Reynolds,
make
tonight
change
at
in this
9.
country is to get out and vote for the change you're looking for. What if this year we actually did that? What if this year every eligible American decided to step up and be a voter? What can actually happen would we all vote? Imagine the kind of leaders we can elect.
Leaders who are committed to creating a better world for my girls.
When we all vote, we have the power to shape the future.
My father was deported when I was 8 years old.
Let's see, it was the last day for you to have actually majority control of the Reds.
We translated
Was it $64 million?
Register to vote today, not tomorrow, not the next day, but today.
That means all of us.
When we all vote, that's how change happens in America.
I'm very proud of them. Whole Reds organization. I just want to say what's up to Mr. Linder. Thanks for keeping it real. I know they'll keep things just as I kept them tight, and you know what?
What's that?
I won't go into that. I got in trouble last time. I went into my personal philosophy.
Oh, well.
So I won't do that. Mr. Vaughn, great play. Very proud of you.
So what are you going to do with $64 million, Marge?
Good question, Mark Gunn. I think I'll roll in it a little bit longer. Then maybe I'll make some investments. I was thinking maybe the Bengals need a little tweaking. Maybe I could do that.
It's going to be a wonderful time. Like I said, I know Carl and the guys will keep things tight for me over at the Reds. Maybe I can get with Mr. Brown, and hang out in the house that Mike built.
Well, you certainly couldn't do any worse.
That's Shotzi. And Shotzi is just so excited. I mean, he just piddles everywhere he goes now.
Oh, stop it.
I was between the Reds and Mama's bank account. He just is beside himself.
Oh, so you going to the game tonight?
Of course. I'll be in my box.
Okay.
And I'll have Box with me, by the way.
Wayne Box Miller.
Yeah.
So I guess, hey, Jay, I guess they're still kicking
funny.
it, man. I guess they're still kicking it.
And by the way there, Wayne, if you're listening, I'll pick you up about 5:30. We'll do dinner before we head over to the game at 7:05.
Oh, TMI. That's all I think I needed to know.
One more thing before I let you guys go.
What's up, Marge?
I'm going to send you guys backstage passes to my comedy review at the First Star Center. Marge is large and in charge and back in action, baby.
Oh, no, the Marge Shot Comedy Jam.
64 mil strong.
All right, Marge.
Peace.
Peace
What else
out.
do you want for your money?
One of Kim's other strengths was finding the most unusual news stories to bring to the show. I love the fact that I never really had to micromanage her or Jonathan, so the reactions that you heard on the air were real and unplanned. Take this story involving an unfortunate incident with a handgun and a certain part of the anatomy.
I am still stuck on this story.
Oh, man, I knew you would be. That's why I couldn't wait to bring it to you.
Yeah. All right, now, Kim, just for anybody that may not have been with us in the last 10 minutes, run that story back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Boo Boo the Fool for the next 10 years. Run that story back.
Okay. Here's the deal. This gentleman lives in Florida. His name is Jimmy Lee Brown. Now, he's 51, old enough to know better. He's an out-of-work sanitation worker, and he could get life in prison for shooting himself in the winky, as you all have stated. He had pretty much let the police know that someone else had shot him, and they believed him until the shell casing fell out of his underwear. And because Jimmy has been a bad boy, he's already got a record, and he's at the limit with the we're sorries. They're ready to go ahead and lock him up now. He could get life for this. And his attorney is saying, hey, he's had enough already. He shot himself. What else do you people want? He drew blood.
How stupid do you have? Can you imagine this dude going before the judge?
I didn't mean it.
Yana, you mean to tell me I'm going to jail for life for shooting myself in the winky?
Well, they want to throw Bill out for somebody playing with his.
The Wiz Morning Crew had a lot going for us, and one of the things I was most proud of was the cast of characters that the three of us created. These were local folks that had a special relationship with us and our listeners. My favorite by far was Mama Hattie. She was our grandmother of sorts, who called in from time to check on us and to share some of her motherly wisdom. Like the time she used me as a guinea pig for an on-air experiment.
The Rock Bottom Cafe. Celebrity voice very badly impersonated.
Wiz, good morning.
Hi, baby. How y'all doing this morning?
What's going on, Mama girl? Mama Hattie, how you doing?
Dr. Mama Hattie this morning.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good.
What's happening?
Listen, I heard y'all talking about the granny smells this morning.
Oh, yeah.
I want to conduct my own scientific experiment.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if you missed it, it was in Sunday's newspaper. The article about how smelling your granny can uplift you.
Yeah.
Mark, you gonna be the guinea pig.
I'm gonna be the guinea pig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the story where some scientists in Philadelphia sampled. They surveyed 308 university students, and they asked people in several different age groups to be a part of the study.
That's
so they taped this gauze under their underarms and didn't let them use any products that had any perfume smells or anything like that.
Oh,
That's
really?
right. We did the same thing.
So very natural smelling.
Exactly.
Oh,
Now, Jonathan, Kim, and Bob, they knew we was going to do this morning. So they'll all each roll up their arms, their sleeves, their shirts, and reveal the gauze to you at this time.
Oh, okay. So you want me to smell the gauze?
Right. You're going to be the guinea pig, Mark.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, first, we're going to smell. Well, let's smell Bob's first.
You sure you want to do that?
Bob,
Let's do
I gotta walk
last.
around to Bob. We gotta do Bob's last.
Okay, then do
here's Kim.
All right, here's Kim's. Okay. Very, very natural. Very natural.
Smooth yet satisfying.
Yeah. Here's, all right, here's
Now
Jonathan.
you can decide who you're going to do Jonathan's, okay?
Yeah, here's Jonathan's.
Okay.
Yeah, very natural.
All right.
Oh, watch out.
Natural in a rasta
exactly.
chew stick kind of way.
Chew stick type of thing.
Right,
it's all
right.
yeah, chew sticks I've been eating.
There you go.
And hold on. And here comes Bobby the producer.
Here's Bob's. Here's Bob's.
Hold on, go ahead. Be careful, bruh. Yo, dog, hold on, dog. Yo,
baby.
Hold on, somebody get Dr. Ross.
Okay,
somebody get somebody. ER stat.
Here's what you do, Jonathan. Wave man under his nose and see what happens.
Hold on, hey, Kimmy, all right, Kim, here, give me that. Here, take it with me.
Okay.
He was choking. Bob, what you do to yourself, man? What you wash with?
Okay, now what did the survey tell us?
The survey told us never smell Bob's underarmpits anymore.
Good.
No, baby. Now, see, here's the lesson to be had here. Whenever you feeling down and times is hard, you can always sniff on your mama.
Bye, Mama Hattie.
Coming up, my all-time favorite moment with Kim and the Wiz Morning Crew. Plus, a conversation with Quincy McCoy. You may not know the name, but he's someone who means a lot to me personally and to a lot of people in radio. If you've ever wanted to know how this business really works, stay tuned. Got more after this.
104.7 WLOU, the original soul of Louisville.
Hi, this is Mark Gunn, Program Director of the new 104.7 WLOU, the original soul of Louisville. We're streaming online right now at WLOUFM.com. We've been hearing from quite a few of you regarding our mix of R&B and classic soul. And on behalf of the staff and management, thank you. But we'd like to hear from more of you. That's why we set up a special hotline that you can call to let us know exactly what you're thinking about WLOU. As a matter of fact, give it a call right now. 502-650-9325. That's 502-650-9325. Give us your name, where you're calling from, and tell us what you think of the original soul of Louisville. Meantime, thank you so much for spreading the love, and don't forget, you can catch us online right now at WLOUFM.com. The number again is 502-650-9325. That's 502-650-9325. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call right now.
More variety of classic soul, R&B, blues, jazz, and gospel. The original soul of Louisville.
104.7 WLOU.
For downloads of this and past episodes and information about all the multimedia services we offer, log on to our website at www.markgunmedia.com. That's markgunmedia.com. Welcome back to Gunshots Straight from the Hip. I'm Mark Gunn. Remember, you can download this episode and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you listen to iTunes, please take a few seconds to leave a review. That really helps the show get exposure. This episode, Morning Radio, a different kind of marriage. A loving tribute to Kymberlye Stepp Curd. Kymberlye Curd, also known as Kim's on the Air, was the last morning show partner or radio wife I ever had. We lost her suddenly back on August 11th from a heart attack, and I wanted to use this episode as a tribute to her. Now, I shared some of my favorite on-air moments with her during the last segment, but my all-time favorite was taking Kim to get her very first tattoo, live on the air. It all started with a conversation about them. Jonathan and I already had a few, and she was curious about it. After some careful consideration, she decided that she wanted to get one, and it was her idea to do it live on the morning show. This is how that went.
Kim is in the process of getting the tattoo. Now, Dot, what are you doing first here?
Okay, first thing we're going to do is discuss exactly where on her shoulder she would like this to be, depending on what kind of clothing she wears and how often she wants it to be seen.
Okay.
Well, I'd like it to be, I guess, in this right about here. That way it can be
hidden if need be.
Yes. Okay. Easily viewed if necessary. Yes.
Okay.
All right, then we're going to wash and shave the surface of the skin. You have a hairy back? No. No, it doesn't matter where we put the design. We're going to shave whatever piece of skin we're tattooing to make sure there's no hair there. So. Okay, and then we apply the transfer of the design that she's chosen directly onto her skin.
This would be like one of those temporary tattoos that they put on and they wipe on you?
Yeah, but it's not so temporary. I can't wash it off.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Okay, so we've got the outline, or we've got the actual
the design on your back. You'll be able to take a look at it, Kim.
Yes, she's cute. I like that. She's cute.
All right, so now that's only the beginning, though.
I know that's only the beginning, but it's
At
a
least
nice
we have
start.
an approval for the location.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the first thing. This is what the actual needle sounds like. Oh, yeah, that feels good. That feels real good. Now, this is the actual appliance. I'm not going to use the word needle.
It's called a tattoo machine.
The tattoo machine.
Right.
Now, what is this comprised of? What is this made of?
It's just an electrical head, which works on the same kind of principle as a doorbell, electrical current. And it's a very old invention. It's been around since the turn of the century, basically the same apparatus. They haven't changed it very much since then.
Wow.
So, yeah. Right.
Oh, okay. 1869.
So, and we use a single service tube and also the needle single service, and that's put onto the machine and hook it up and draw with it.
So it's also important to know that each of the needles are prepackaged. They're very sterile. So, you know that.
Stop using that word.
Oh, the N word.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so what are you putting on her? What are you putting on her now?
We just put a little petroleum jelly on the skin surface to keep it cleaner and to help our hand move a little smoother on the skin surface.
Okay, so the needle is started. She's dipping into the black, and
It's a two-part process. We start with the outline and then we do the coloring in.
Okay, you start with the outline. And you do. Okay. You ready?
I guess so.
All right, here we go.
I'm going to do a small line on you here and let you see what this feels like. That's all there is to it. That's what it feels like.
I can live through it.
You can live through that?
I think so.
Okay, now while Kim's getting some of the outline done, we'll check back with her in just a few minutes. It's Cincinnati's R&B Hits, 100.9, The New Wiz. Here's the next part of the process and Kim getting her tattoo live on the air with the Wiz Morning Crew. Kim is getting her Betty Boop tattoo. Dot is doing the work, and we're in the coloring process, and you're doing the dress here.
Yeah, she's got a little bustier, and we're making it red. On darker skin, the colors that show up the best are black, reds, and greens. And when you're choosing a tattoo, if you have darker skin, you want to consider the design and the colors that you're going to use, because in the ultimate end result is going to be much better on your skin surface if you consider those things.
Okay, so lighter shades. Notice you're going to use yellow on Kim's skin. Her complexion, is that going to show up as well?
It will show up on her complexion because she's fairly light-skinned. If you're darker skinned and you try to put yellow or white, it will not show up. So we tried to give people that information and give them guidance so that they'll be happier with their tattoo in the end.
Oh, okay.
Information.
Okay. Yeah, that is a very vivid red.
Very vivid. Bright red.
Give her some red shoes.
Yeah, there you go. The traditional red shoe, the red pumps. See it. So how you feeling?
Cool.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I think you're going to be pleased with the results. Looks
Feels
good.
like
Looks
it.
really good.
It's about over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hope it gets easier as it goes along. Yeah, it'll be fine.
It gets easier?
Yes.
So you're used to basically the sensation?
Well, it's the outline that I think is the most painful. That's what everybody has said. Because it feels like it's dragging. But the color, it goes so quick, you can't really feel it. I have that advice from everybody, too.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, you name it. I mean, in the store last night, I got some advice. Letitia, who's our new office manager, her sister gave me a page full of advice at the office party last night. So far everybody has been pretty much on the mark. They've been very honest with me.
Here's what happened when the work was finally completed. The work is done. Kim is getting ready to take a look at the final result here. Betty Boop with a whip. Betty Boop with a whip. We'll get the reaction. Okay. Dot did the work.
All right. She's cute. I like it. It doesn't look that bad either around it. I thought it was going to be real scabbed up and nasty looking. It's not. I can wear my dress. I like it. Thank you, Daddy.
So you can go straight. Yeah, that was relatively quick.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long for smaller things. Usually 15 minutes to 45 minutes for something small to medium size.
Okay, now what does she have to do in the initial stages to take care of this?
We're going to place a bandage on there before she leaves, and what she wants to do is leave that on at least 10 to 12 hours. When she removes that bandage, you want to take her fingertips and soap and water and jump in the shower and really wash that skin surface thoroughly. This is just like an abrasion, like you fell down the skin at your knee is basically what a tattoo is.
Right.
And you want to get that skin surface really clean, thoroughly clean. The rest of the week, you do not have to rebandage it. You do want to be a little bit careful with it, kind of wash around it in the shower for the rest of the week, kind of pat it or blot it dry with a towel when you get out of the shower. And you can put a little drop of lotion on there once or twice a day. We usually recommend like Lubriderm or Noxzema, some kind of a mild, not greasy lotion. Okay. And just a very small amount. What it does is gets a little layer of skin on there, like a scabby layer, if you will, that kind of splits and peels off like a snake skin would peel. Right. And it usually takes 5 to 7 days for that to happen. And after that's peeled, then you would want to be careful with it for another week or so. It's just like a new layer of skin that's regenerated, so you don't want to get sun damage or anything like that on there. But it's not bad. The process is a very simple process. You'll be amazed when you go through it. It's very easy to take care of and not a hassle or anything.
And that was my all-time favorite moment with Kim Zahn as she got her first tattoo live on the air during our show, The Wiz Morning Crew. This is a testament to her fearless nature because this experience could have gone south really quick. Now, it's not every day you get a tattoo, let alone do it live on a radio show. This is the Kim Zahn that I choose to remember. She always toyed with the idea of getting back into the business, and I have a feeling that if she did, we would have gotten bigger and much, much better from her. Coming up, I'll share a conversation that Kim and I had with a man who means a lot to the industry, even if you've never heard of him. Get ready for a real behind-the-scenes look at radio with author and radio personality Quincy McCoy, right after this.
On November 3rd, 86 out of 99 state legislative chambers are holding elections.
There are 70 million young eligible voters, the largest and most diverse generation in our country's history.
We have the power to shape our country and communities,
but we need all of us.
So picture this.
On November 3rd, we choose.
We choose who sits in 435 seats in the House of Representatives. We choose 24 senators and 13 governors.
We choose the sheriffs, the DAs, and the judges, too.
With 70 million young eligible voters, we choose to align a vision too humane to be political.
And make the future prouder than it's ever been.
So when the alarm goes off on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020, and you arrive at your polling site to see freedom clocking 2-hour waits,
vote anyway.
When the machines stop working and your job starts calling because American democracy is running late again, vote anyway.
Your vote is bigger than the color of your state.
It is a revolution in motion.
The moment you took to the streets and to the screens to share your outrage,
you recommitted to our collective dream, which requires that you lift it out of hashtags and into D.C. and your communities.
Because remember, this is the same year that brought a pandemic which disproportionately killed Black and brown Americans and indigenous people.
The same 2020 that took the breath of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Nina Pop, and Dominique Fells.
So on November 3rd, 2020,
know that voter suppression will be present.
Vote anyway. You will be discouraged.
Vote anyway.
Tuesday will be imperfect.
Vote anyway.
When every headline is shouting democracy and duty in swing states,
you will be asked to believe in a dream that never came to fruition for every American. And despite your best reason,
you must uphold it. Because we can't vote a world into existence that we can't first imagine.
The American dream is ours for the making.
Come alive for ancestors who need you to finish their story.
A story that begs for atonement.
Cast your promise.
Cast your promise. Cast your vote.
Cast your vote.
But vote.
For downloads of this and past episodes and information about all the multimedia services we offer, log on to our website at www.markgunmedia.com. That's markgunmedia.com. Welcome back to Gunshots Straight from the Hip. I'm Mark Gunn. Remember, you can download and subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen. And if you listen to iTunes, please take a few seconds to leave us a review. This episode, Morning Radio, A Different Kind of Marriage, a loving tribute to Kymberlye Stepp Curd. Kim Zahn was the last morning show partner or radio wife I ever had. We lost her suddenly back in August, and I wanted to use this episode as a special tribute to her. One of the things I've always prided myself in, not only as a radio talent, but as a program director as well, is in sharing as much information about the inner workings of this business as I possibly could. To that end, here's a conversation that Kim and I had about this very subject.
On the phone with us, you may not know the name, but this guy means a lot to a lot of us that are in the business of radio. As a matter of fact, he has just written what I think is the definitive book on radio, and if you've ever wanted to know a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on, you need to read this book. The author of No Static, A Guide to Radio Programming, it's my man Q, Quincy McCoy. What's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
How you feel?
I feel real good today.
Well, congratulations, first of all. I mean, you have written an outstanding piece of work.
Well, it's fun. It's a book that I've always wanted to have when I was coming up in radio that wasn't available, and I thought it was way overdue.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to put it together because of, the situation radio is in right now with consolidation and everything, and research kind of like taking away from the creative spirit of radio. So I thought there should be a book out there that would fight for the fun that radio is all about.
Okay, now let's explain this to the average person that's listening to us right now, because they don't see that side of it.
Yeah, they don't. The average person doesn't know about the telecom bill that was passed a few years ago that allowed radio stations to buy practically as many radio stations as they want to. But the effect of this has been a commercialization of radio, and consolidation also has hurt the creative spirit of what radio is all about. You know, because they've taken the fun out and really increased what radio, the bottom line, is all about. And so they've stopped hiring great personalities and letting personalities do their thing and depending too much on research.
Okay, can you get those real quick? We've been having a debate about this. Can you define what the strengths are about black radio?
Black radio is probably the strongest form of radio today as far as entertainment and creativity. There's no doubt about that. Black radio, because of black music itself and the history of black radio, which is very personality-oriented, still probably is the cutting-edge form in radio. And I think other radio forms still borrow from us constantly. I think black radio is very strong. It may be the strongest form. It's one of the biggest money makers. There's no doubt about that. And we're always setting trends, and we're always moving forward. There's something about black folks and new music and give me something new that really, you know, moves it forward and keeps it strong.
Now, you've seen a proliferation of other formats, mainstream formats, like you said, borrowing from the innovations that black radio has come up with. And we have to, to smack my own, as I like to say, we have been rather slow or rather negligent on how we deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, the basic thing, the strongest thing you can do as a black radio station is to super serve the community like you've always done. If you reach out to the community and they have problems and you address those problems, they realize that you are on their side. So if a new competitor comes in playing your type of music, your people will stay with you because you've been taking care of business for them in the community. And that's the most important thing for any winning radio station. You can't win unless you're a part of the community. And your job is to make yourself a household brand inside everybody's home. You want to be top of mind with everybody. You want people to say, I love the music that they play, but I like the fact that I saw the guy last week and he was out here. I shook his hand at the mall. They raised money for this AIDS thing. They gave computers to the school. And that's why I like this radio station. And that's the key, I think, the most important ingredient any radio station can have. If you truly want to win, you got to be real. And that's the real, none of that other nonsense. Being real is really serving what your community needs, which is what radio stations were designed for in the first place.
That phrase from back in the day, granted license to serve the public trust.
Yeah.
Or public interest, rather.
Well, with consolidation, it's history. I mean, all those kind of things where you used to have to work to keep your license by serving the community. All that stuff's been deregulated. You don't have to do that anymore. Black radio, the tax minority certificate, which was very instrumental in getting small and black entrepreneurs into radio, buying radio stations and stuff, that is gone. So it's hard to even get in if you don't have the money. In the old days, you could put your house up and buy a radio station. Those days are long gone. So I think that the time will change. I think that's all going to shift out. I mean, all these people owning 400 and 500 radio stations are finding out that they can't control it.
Right.
They can't control it. And it's starting to sifting out now as we see. They're starting to sell them off and stuff. And so that's going to be good for the small and the minority kind of guys that want to get in and buy radio stations. They should do very well in this first shift of change that's going on right now.
And Q, for the average Joe listener, can you define our favorite people, consultants, and their role in radio?
Yeah, well, there are some good consultants and there are some bad ones. I mean, there's some guys that have really fought real good battles and understand how to deal with personalities. And those are the best guys, the guys that can come into a marketplace, understand it, allow the people who are in the marketplace to tell them what is best for the marketplace, and work with them and can create a great radio station and a winning spirit. That's what a great PD is supposed to be. But there are guys that just come in with their briefcase and open it up and take a little disc out and stick it into the computer and say, play this music, and walk out the door. Don't have anybody talk. We don't need anybody to talk over 5 seconds. It's not important.
Right.
Those guys are hurting us. Those are the guys that started to think more music, less talk. That phrase has killed, a whole generation of air personalities that we don't have percolating to take over and to move into new time slots and stuff and across America, across the radio. And those guys particularly are the guys that have been instrumental in hurting radio, along with their good buddies, the research guys.
It's a conspiracy.
See, the thing about the research guys that made it so appealing to the general managers were these guys came in and said, look, play these records, tell the people to shut up because nobody wants to hear them talk, and that's it. And then you're all set. Okay, so more music, less talk. And it took over because it was cost efficient. You don't have to pay that crazy morning crew all that money anymore, or that crazy nighttime jock who was so funny. So you take those people off and you put them, everybody gets a McDonald's salary. What I mean by that is everybody pays just, 15 cents for every hamburger, and that's all you get. But even McDonald's figured out that's not good because they started with the Super Mac and the apple pie and everything else. You got to have the special fries, and that's just like what a radio station needs. You just can't have everybody, at 15-cent level. It's just not going to work.
Now, where do you see radio, black radio in particular, with all the consolidation and the deregulation and this mindset that a lot of stations have? And frankly, it has to be said, this mindset comes along because it is cost-effective, cost-efficient. Where do you see personality radio going as far as black outlets are going?
Well, I think it's like I said before, I think it's the strongest in those marketplaces. But I still fear for it because I don't know if there's people developing inside the radio station. What I mean is if the young intern who's hungry that comes in and he's working, he just wants to get on the air, is this guy still being taught by somebody inside saying, okay, we'll work you on Sunday, then you can do this show, and so forth and so on, and working with him afterwards saying, okay, this break was great, let me explain to you why this is tremendous. Work on these things. Here's your strength. Here's a little weakness that you have. Let's work with this too and see if we can improve it. That kind of training. See, what's missing is we don't have laboratory stations anymore because of consolidation.
Right.
Consolidation doesn't allow it because, it's also money-based and everything. They don't have room for experimentation anymore. And that's where PDs and stuff used to grow. PDs and personalities. You could work in a smaller market, work on your skill, work on your craft. They move you up. You get another job in the middle market, go to a bigger market, so forth and so on. It was a wonderful little thing. It really worked for all of us, and that's how we got to make mistakes, and then that's how we got to grow.
So when you hear your favorite air personalities, no matter which one of us or all of us that we are, those of us that shine in your eye as a listener, as a customer, rather.
Right. I like that term better.
Yeah. As a customer, it's because we've had people that groomed us and shaped us and shared their knowledge with us. And that's why we've got Q on, because we wanted to share a little bit of the inner workings of radio with you because, you've been so loyal to us.
Well, thank you guys very much.
Man, again, congratulations on the book, man. I mean, when I got it, everybody around here wanted to borrow it. So you got a winner on your hands.
Well, tell them to pick it up at Amazon.com. It's cheap. You can get it there, $12 off. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Quincy McCoy, the author of No Static, The Guide to Radio Programming. Yeah, it's a book about radio, but this is something that you can read. Get a little insight as to what's going on behind the scenes of your favorite radio station. Once again, that was Quincy McCoy, author of No Static, A Guide to Creative Radio Programming. An inside look at the world of radio. Still available on Amazon.com. Kim, this episode has been about you. Kim's on. or Kymberlye Stepp Curd to those of us that know and love her. I love you, I miss you, and I thank you for making me, 1, a better on-air talent, and 2, a much better human being. After 7 years of being out of the business, I recently signed up to become the program director of a local station here in Louisville. Kim, I know you're going to be watching, and I hope to make you proud. You've been listening to Gunshots Straight from the Hip. The views expressed are those of the host and guests and not reflective of any business entity or anyone associated with this broadcast. If you have any comments or want more information on how to be a sponsor, log on to our website at markgunmedia.com or call us at 502-407-0283. That's 502-407-0283. Thank you for listening.
Mark Gun Media. No hype, no hoopla, just damn good work.